Okay, we're recording. Happy Monday, guys. One of my favorite days of the week because it's like fresh start, fresh week. Honestly, I have a glare on my glasses. I'm gonna take these off. And I am thanking you guys so much for all of your love for the past week as we welcomed our baby girl into the world. She's actually sleeping in the next room, so I don't think that you'll hear her. I think that she doesn't eat again until until 9:30, so we're good. But um, who in here is a mom? So you guys know it's a whirlwind, okay? You know what I mean? But practicing some small little things to do every single day has kept me, one, sane, two, not feeling like this mountain of overwhelm. And I thought, I really feel like this would be beneficial to talk about because it's not necessarily that I'm having a comeback because I never went away, but it's the same mindset to say, what am I no matter what every single day? And what can I learn from the past to make sure that I'm still moving forward no matter what season of life that I'm in? So I was sharing with you guys, I don't know if I shared with you guys or on my post publicly on Facebook. I don't know, it all blurs together these days. But my current personal development right now is this book called Cultivate. And it's all about gardens. And I know that sounds weird. It's really not about gardens, but it's about cultivating a garden and how you have to prosper where you're planted and how in order to grow a garden, in order to grow and be successful, you have to harvest. You have to, dig through the weeds. You have to water the plants. You have to put it in sunshine. You have to consistently treat it. You can't just think that a seed that you plop down on the ground one day is going to grow and blossom into this beautiful fruit or this beautiful vegetable or flower or tree. You have to cultivate it. So I'm going to apply that principle to everything that we're going to cover today regarding our comeback club, regarding how do you have a comeback. And I love the fact that we were so enthusiastic. Our team, you guys you excited me so much when I presented the idea of having a comeback club. And I got that idea from a leader that I am inspired by. Her name is Danielle Notoni. And she was actually, she won the leadership award a couple of years ago at Summit. No surprise there because she always offers great leadership and great feedback to the 5-star leaders in an organization. So I got that idea from her, but she just was presenting it in a group and she's like, have you guys ever had coaches who come to you and say, I'm ready to do coaching again. I feel like I dropped the ball and I really want to start fresh. She's like, how about let's think about supporting them with a comeback. And I thought that's brilliant because it's the first of the year. And I know in the past, when I have stumbled and fallen, I felt discouraged. I felt alone. I even felt shame. Okay. I felt like judged or shamed, but it was all that internal pressure that I put on myself to try to strive for perfection. So before I go over, I have 10 tips that I want to share with you guys on how to have a comeback. And then I'm going to present to you guys our new coach training site. But before I go over those 10 tips, I wanted to talk to you guys about why are you in a position to have a comeback? You know what I mean? Like, what is your definition of a comeback? Have you gone MIA the past couple of weeks because it was the holidays? Is that a comeback? Or have you ever, like when you signed up as a coach, have you always been a discount coach and this is kind of your first attempt to build a business? Or did you start as a coach, jump head first in, somehow you started running, but it was like uneven ground that you're running on, and maybe you were like focusing on the rocks on the ground instead of focusing on the goal, and maybe you stumble and fell because of the rocky road that you were in. Everybody has seasons of life, and so this book teaches us that no matter what season you're in, there are actions to take. For example, going back to the garden thing, I'm not a gardener. Anybody have a garden here? It sounds like, anybody have plant gardens? I have an orchid that somebody gave me that I'm trying to keep alive. It's successful so far, but I don't really know what I'm doing. Anyways, when you're planting a garden, apparently there's like seasons and you can't, in the wintertime, they're dormant and in the spring, things blossom and then you plant things certain times. And anyways, you cultivate the fruit and the seeds during that season that you're able to, just like this business. Okay. So the last quarter of 2017, I think it is if you guys were consistently like plowing and planting seeds and talking to people and keeping up with your health and fitness, that was public and visible in people's eyes. Now, granted, you might not have had a lot of traction, and you might have wanted to pull out your hair and be like, but nobody's saying yes. Everybody's saying they're waiting until the end of the year. Everybody has money excuses. Like, you might have had more objections the last month of December than you have this month. This month, everyone is what? Everyone has a resolution to lose weight. Everyone has a resolution to get fit. Everyone has a resolution to better themselves. So that's a perfect chance for us to cultivate this season. It is ripe, and we have got to step up to the plate and really make sure that we're watering the seeds, not just hypothetically like watering the seeds that we've planted before, but like actually planting new seeds and cultivating a garden. Step number 1, when we are talking about having a comeback. Now, this is for you guys who feel like you need to be a comeback kid, or this is even for the leader who has never gone astray or come back or whatever, but you might have a teammate who has, or you might need to offer grace and say, look, like, nobody's judging you. Nobody shames you. This is your business. We're here to lift you up. But the reality is there's a reason why you might have fallen in the past. So tip number 1 is face what went wrong. Why? What went wrong? Like when you were first a coach, or maybe you're a brand new coach who just signed up this week, so you're like, I'm just ready to jump in. I don't know what you're talking about. What went wrong in the past? Was it you? Was it your, oh, I hear my baby. Hold on. Time out. I'm going to bring her in here so you guys can see her anyways, but hold on. Okay, sorry guys. I actually was joking earlier. I was like, I have a team call tonight. I think Scotty will be okay. But there she is. Hey guys, here's my baby. She's cute. Okay. Anyways, now I'm sweating because I was like running to get her. But the first step is like, what went wrong? Assess that. Like, have that hard conversation with yourself. Don't beat yourself up because you're human. I'm telling myself this too because there's a lot of goals that I missed in the past, right? But it doesn't define us, and it doesn't mean that we can't be an entrepreneur. It just means that we're a part of the entrepreneur roller coaster, and it's a part of the process. Everybody's business is going to do this. I promise you. And if you don't believe me, then I'm going to share with you. I could post it in our team page, but I'm going to share with you the statistics on people who own businesses and how it is a legit roller coaster. And so people who try to uproot themselves and plant them in another garden, or, dig up their seeds. Hey, baby. Dig up the seeds and put themselves in another pot. I just think it's starting from ground zero, and maybe that's necessary, maybe it's not, but honestly, you need to be able to figure out what went wrong. And if you need to fix bad habits, I'm going to unmute myself. I'm going to unmute my video. If you need to fix bad habits in order to prevent failure next time, then do so. But tip number 1 is figure out what went wrong, because step number 2 goes right along with that. And it's about learning from what went wrong, not just face what went wrong. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to blame yourself. It doesn't mean that you blame somebody else. It just means you acknowledge what went wrong. Was it the season of my life? Was it just not the right timing? Was I overwhelmed with too much? Did I not prioritize my schedule? Was my husband not supportive, but now he is? Or maybe he still isn't, but I'm going to do this the right way by keeping my priorities in check. Maybe you didn't keep your priorities checked last time, but learn from what went wrong last time. This call about comeback, being a comeback kid, how to have a comeback is not all about what went wrong in the past and the failure you had in the past, but we have to acknowledge where we were in order to prevent going back to that place of stumbling and falling. I want you guys to be successful. I want you to grow yourself, your business, your team, your income, your family. Like, I want you guys to achieve your goals. I really, really do. But we have got to mature ourselves so much so that we learn the hard lessons. And sometimes it means looking in the mirror and realizing, wow, we got lazy. Okay, we wanted to cut corners. or we thought that it would be handed to us on a silver platter. Or you got caught in the comparison trap, so your ego got in the way. I mean, these are all really real struggles that people, sorry, I just read the comments. I'm going to start lactating. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't say that on team call. That is hilarious. You are distracting me. That is so funny. So tip number 3 when having a comeback is see if you need to reconsider your goal. Like the goal that you set for yourself, the expectation you set for yourself when you first started to build a business, was it unrealistic? Did you say, oh, I want to start making $500 a week by, 2 months, but then you didn't put in the work? Like those are unrealistic expectations. You have to say, okay, what kind of action, how many hours can I commit to a week? What specific actions, no matter what, that I will do every single day starting on this day? What kind of fitness results am I striving for? Am I going to cut corners? Am I going to cheat on my diet? Am I going to skip this day of a workout because nobody really knows? Those are integrity questions. Like you have to say, did you skip your workouts? Did you skip your nutrition plan? Those are things that matter. They really, really do. Did you ever open a personal development book? These are things that matter. And if you weren't consistent with those in the past, then get real with yourself and ask yourself, okay, being in the comeback club, does it sound good and fluffy because I really want to make this work? Or are you really willing to put in the work this time to discipline yourself, to be consistent with the things that matter even when people aren't looking? It's about growing yourself and being reliable to the challenges and customers that you've committed to. Step number 4, or tip number 4, really. Tip number 4 is ask yourself, what are you going to do about what went wrong? This is kind of redundant because obviously you're learning from what went wrong. You're seeing if you need to reconsider your goal, like set goals that are still, you have to reach for them. It's not just a given, but something that you strive for. It's not unrealistic. It's something that will still equip you in your confidence, but you're not just settling for mediocre. And tip number 4 is asking yourself, what can you do about what went wrong? Is there anything you could have done to prevent it? Maybe life happened. Like, okay, let's just use this for example. I have a newborn, okay? So that means that my work schedule will look a lot different. It will. I'm not upset about that. This is my season of life, and I will cherish this. Like, I adore my daughter, which is really crazy to say because I have a baby girl, but I adore her. So I joyfully readjust my work schedule, and I joyfully say, you know what? I might not hit Success Club 20, but I might hit Success Club 10, or I might not work 5 hours a day, but I might work 1 hour a day. And I will be so thrilled to accomplish those kind of benchmarks because that's realistic for me right now. Even though it's still stretching me, it's still being consistent, it's still being a good steward of the people that I'm serving. But you have to say, could this have been prevented? And if it could have been prevented due to your lack of focus, due to your distraction, due to your lack of personal growth yourself, okay, well then that's the solution. That's where you focus on. You focus on growing and preventing that next failure. Okay, tip number 5 is decide your priorities and define your goals. Decide your priorities. I mean, don't ever put your family on the back burner, ever, because you will soon feel icky and sticky and you'll blame other people for your distress. But if you keep your family first, you honor your priorities with your work, you work in mom cracks when you're able to, you wake up earlier or stay up later, or you do what you need to do on your lunch hour at work. Those are the kind of priorities and sacrifices that it takes to be a winning entrepreneur. Okay. But you are able to define what it means to be a winning entrepreneur. I don't define that for you. To be a winning entrepreneur, to build this business, you honestly, your goal might be something awesome like, hey, I want to, earn $200 a month to pay for my car payment. That's incredible, right? Like to have a side job on top of everything else that we're managing to still be able to earn enough to pay for your car payment. Or your goal might be you want to be a star diamond and you want to be invited to all of the parties at the events that we go to. Yeah, heck yeah. Those are awesome and super fun to get dressed up, to get dolled up, put some lashes on. And that's a cool goal. Like you define your goals and your priorities, but do not blend them. Do not mix them up. Make sure that you stay true to who you are and don't let your ego or anything else get in the way. You can close the door, yeah. My mom said she's going to blow dry her hair, so it might be a little loud. Tip number 6, talk about your plan. You need to map it out. You need to get You need to map out your plan. What are the things that you're going to be doing? My tips are going to be covered when we go over the new coach training site. Following the business activity tracker, which I know, like, following a business tracker or having a to-do list every single day, those things aren't necessarily sexy. It's not like fun things every single day. It's mundane sometimes, but it's the actions that get you the result. That's why it's so important. And don't just look at the comeback club this week. Don't just look at the new coach training this week, but actually decide, what action are you going to take? Action trumps talk all day long. So when I say talk about your plan, I'm not just saying talk a lot of like smack, like talk up front, like I'm going to do this and I'm going to be successful, and you just wait and see. This year I'm going to blow this year away. Well, prove it with your actions. Prove it with your actions every single day by showing up, doing your thing, and setting monthly goals. But talk about it maybe with a success partner. Maybe form a group within Moxie of people who have similar goals than you. That's why we have a Moxie team page. We have a Moxie team page so you guys can create that community, get to know one another. I see you guys collaborating all the time, and it makes me so happy. I know that it was Dory, maybe Jesse, and you guys did a vision board powwow, like a vision board event. I thought that was awesome. I'm sorry if I forget who else was in it, Mom Brain. But I saw you guys rocking that, and I was like, oh, that is so smart. They're doing awesome. I was so proud of you guys for getting together. And you know what that does? It makes less work for everybody because you were working together, collaborating smartly, and just brainstorming. So you didn't have all of the weight on you and your shoulders. You were able to work together as a team. That was pretty cool. That was one example of many things that you guys can do. You guys can partner up and do challenge groups together. I know a lot of you guys are doing 80-day obsession. You might as well, you can get together and lead, bigger groups for 80-day obsession, or share the resources that you have, because sharing is caring. Like, this team is not about hoarding information. We're not about withholding things that can help other people. Like, let's just share and lift each other up. So you can lead challenge groups together. You can lead team calls together. You can lead events together, free groups together. You can do anything if you want as far as talking about your plans and goals. Tip number 7, and I know I'm going fast, but I will copy and paste these. Tip number 7 to have a comeback is give up bad habits. Okay. You might have already started to identify these by saying, yeah, well, that's what went wrong, and that's what went wrong. And it might have been your discipline to work out and to eat right. It might have been your schedule. It might have been time management. It honestly might have been your priorities. It might have been that your head is a hot mess because you're discouraged. You talk bad about yourself to yourself. You don't believe in yourself. You might have fear and doubt even about the company because of what, you think, well, I've been doing this for 2 years or 5 years and it's still not where I want it to be. You got to let that go and just say, what can I do? What kind of ownership can I take to make sure that I am a successful entrepreneur with where I'm at? Beachbody truly is growing and prospering hand over foot every single year. I don't even know if that's the right expression, but I'm going to go with it. And so it's solid. It is incredible for me to see new coaches. And it's just a testimony that, like, if you're a new coach or if you're an old coach, you can be successful, because there are success stories all the time. Every single week, for example, on the National Wake Up Call, you can hear names of people who have been a coach forever and they had a comeback, or they just signed up as a coach and they're really booming in their business. So it doesn't matter when you signed up. That is not the reason why somebody is successful or unsuccessful. You are successful or unsuccessful based on your mindset, based on your actions, based on how you grow your network and how you serve your people. Honestly, that is it in a nutshell. So tip number 8 to be a comeback is going back to talking about your plan with somebody. Find a success partner. Find a group of coaches. It doesn't have to be people within Moxie. It could be, heck, we're part of a ginormous team with Dynasty United and Bombshell Dynasty. I hope that everyone listening is in the Dynasty United team page. And if you consider yourself a business builder, I hope that you requested to be in the Dynasty United Gather page, which is specific training and specific collaboration with business builders with our bigger team. And so that's been a great group, a great resource. So use your resources and don't just wait for it to fall in your lap. Like, go out there, dig around, research, and see what kind of community you can be a part of that lifts you up and that can really help you with the goals that you have. find the support. You can't, I mean, obviously we all do this on our own. Like we're individual Beachbody coaches, right? Like we're individual entrepreneurs, but doing this with community is one, a lot more fun and you're a lot less likely to drift behind and feel like an outsider. Like I don't want anybody to feel like they're on the fringe. I don't want anyone to feel like they're on the edge of Moxie. I want you to feel like you're part of the community, but it's going to take you being willing to be our friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you constantly sit at the outside of the cafeteria and we are always inviting you in, and hey, come hang out with us, come to these Zoom calls, come to our team parties, come to our events that we're hosting, come to our challenge groups that we're doing together, but you never accept that invitation to do life with us, well then of course you're going to feel like an outsider. So here's my open and loving invitation to you. Let us be your friend. Like let us really do life with you and let us really get to know you and let us really support you, because I don't want you to feel discouraged. I don't want you to miss your goals. I want you to plug into a community of people who can lift you up and really have this comeback that you desire. All right. Tip number 9 is hold your head up. Hold your head up and believe in comebacks. Truly, like, do you really believe in yourself? Or when you join this call, were you thinking, man, I just don't know. I'm really hoping that I hear something spectacular. I'm really hoping that this will motivate me and I'll get all, pumped up and start working tonight. Well, sometimes you just have to start taking action before you feel that motivation. Before you feel motivated, you have to write it down and say, here are 3 things I'm going to do before I go to bed tonight. Here are 3 no matter whats that I'm going to do 5 days a week, regardless if I feel like it or not, because this means so much to me. For example, today is my first day. I say day back at work. I worked 1 day last week, but today I have this list that I want to cover. It's a list of no matter whats that I commit to Monday through Friday. And then I have a list of no matter whats that I do weekly. Things like, help with this team call, things like send weekly emails to my customers, things that are on my daily to-do list. My daily no matter whats are things like go through my power hour or do my devotion. I'll make sure that I get that personal development in. Things like posting on Facebook. Those are my no matter whats, no matter what. Like, no matter what season I'm in, no matter how I'm feeling, no matter the time frame, no matter if I'm traveling, no matter if I'm sick, it's a no matter what. And making sure that I have that benchmark achieved every single day. It doesn't have to be extreme. It doesn't mean that I have to work 8 hours a day, but it can really take me maybe 1 hour a day of focused energy and time to accomplish my no matter what. And that is important when you really want to be consistent this time around to be a comeback kid. So before I jump over to our new coach training site, I wanted to show you guys a quick video. And again, you might have seen this, and that's totally fine. But I wanted it to be something, 1, as a transition to a training call, but 2, just putting things into perspective. So, oops, I need to exit that. Putting things into perspective so we kind of have a good mindset going into 2018. Baby girl. Okay, so I'm going to push play here, and I know that I said it was going to be 30 minutes long, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm going to share my screen so we can watch this video together. I do appreciate you guys watching so diligently and listening to your comments. Okay, here we go. I think you'll be able to hear this fine.
You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. In order to do something you've never done, you've got to be someone you've never been. You must be born again. You've got to die as you are now. You've got to be willing to give up who you are now for what you can become. You've got to have this vision of yourself beyond your circumstances. You've got to see yourself every day. I can do this. I can make this happen. I'm blessed and highly favored. Good things are supposed to happen to me. You want to focus. You want to begin to discipline yourself, to control your thinking. Judge not according to appearances. You must have the faith to call forth those things that be not as though they were.
It's called a life-changing day. The day you say, enough is enough. Promise yourself you'll listen to it until it makes sense. You'll go for it until you understand. You'll practice it until you develop the skill. Never give up until, however long that is. Step by step, piece by piece, go for it. Don't miss the chance to grow. And resolve that you'll pay the price until you learn, change, grow, become. Walk away from the 97%.
Don't use their excuses.
Don't go where they go. Don't do what they do. Don't talk like they talk. Develop you a whole new language.
Don't exist creation. Earth, spine, and stuff ain't all been created yet. Because it's waiting on you. Whatever it takes, I'll do whatever it takes, but I'm going to create it if it don't exist. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care what you're going through. If you're not dead, he ain't through with you yet. As long as you waking up, you still in the game. As long as you're alive, you can still make it happen. As long as there's breath in your nostrils, you still in the game. You still can win. Now get your butt up. Every single year, your appetite should go up. You should never get settled. You should never get settled. You should never get content. Every single year. Stop showing up to life average. Stop showing up to life good. Give me great every day. Wake up with great and stop waiting for permission to be great.
Then you'll discover some of life's best treasures. But pay that trust.
All right. So I was smiling at you that you're watching that, like, yes, yes. I actually love that one quote when he said, don't, like, every year increase your appetite. Like, every day think, okay, what am I hungry for? Why am I in this? What's my big idea and what the kind of life I want to have? So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to our new coach training site. And I want to give you a little background. So collaborating with my success partners, with other leaders in the network, I was inspired to create this because it was a one-stop shop. Actually, I take that back. It's not a one-stop shop. It is a guide and an outline where to look for things. It is a guide and an outline of basics. It is very basic, down to the design of the training. It is basic. And I wanted to keep it simple because that was kind of my theme for this year, is like, I want life in like this business. I want people to understand, like, it's simple. It takes hard work, but it's duplicatable, and we don't have to have it all. We don't have to have all the answers. We don't have to do things perfect. We don't have to look like this and do that. Like, we just have to put in the work to build relationships with people, talk about the products, talk about ourselves, serve people, and you will get the blessing. So this site is very basic, very simple, and I'm thrilled that it turned out that way because I'm not a website designer. The reason why I said it's not a one-stop shop is because it doesn't have clickable links to everything in FAQ. It doesn't have like hyperlinks to every single script that you'll need to be successful. It doesn't have hyperlinks to every challenge group guide. Why? Because that's already been created in the Coach Online office. But what this training does instead is it's a 10-day coach training. There's 3 steps. The first step is having new coaches go through the first 30, which it tells you how to do that. The second step is a 10-day coach training. The third step is advanced training for people who have gone through those steps 1 and 2, who want more advanced knowledge of things like volume and placement and 500 PV and things like that. So if you go to moxieishere.com, that is our site that we have. If you ever want to use this to tell somebody about coaching, it doesn't have my name on it at all. It has Moxie on it because of the team culture and community, but it doesn't have my link to it. It doesn't have my anything. It's just a complete team resource that's available for you or anyone to use in your downline. And so you might have seen this before, but it explains a little bit about what coaching is, health and fitness community, financial freedom, pictures of our team fun, a little blurb about this, discussing, is this right for them? Why is this so great? A little video about transformation stuff. Why are we awesome? Because our coolness. And it encourages them to watch a 30-minute webinar. So if they click this, then they are sent to this landing page. Okay, so they're like, oh, okay, I want to watch it. So they are requested to type in their name, email, and then who invited them to watch that webinar. So that's where they would put your name. So I get an email notification every time somebody submits this form, and I send it to the person that they recommended. Okay, so if you use this as a lead capturing tool, I will forward you a screenshot of the person's name, their email, and that they listed you as the coach or the person that invited them. Again, this is not something that you have to use, but it's a resource that you can use. It's a bit more professional looking because it's an easy way for somebody to say, well, tell me more about coaching. You're like, oh my gosh, I love coaching. It's so awesome. Hey, do you have time to watch a 30-minute webinar? Sign up here. So they come to the site. They see that, oh, this is legit. Like, it looks pretty fun. Yeah, I want to watch a webinar. They put your name. Done. That's a lead right there. You nurture it, you follow up with them, and that's how you can grow your team. Anyways, I digress. So that's like our main landing page for the site, but coach training right here. So it's in the top. This is also mobile friendly, so you can access this through your phone, easy. If you go to coach training, right here, this is a password protected training site. Okay, so you hear it from me, the password now. It is not a hard password. It is We Are Moxie. So the password is We Are Moxie to access this site, and I might change it every couple of months. I don't know, and I'll let you know. It'll say that. Okay, so here we go. These are our 3 steps for training. Again, I said it was simple, and I like that. But if you go to the first 30, here we go. I'm going to do this slowly. You can see a screenshot here, and basically this is it. I'm expecting a lot from you guys because you're not dumb. I think that you're smart. Because I think you're smart, I said, hey, go find it. You were smart. You can do this. All you have to do is log into this website, click on Coach tab, then Coach Office, access first 30, and then get started. I mean, I know it's so elementary. You're like, really, Laura? Really? Yes, really. Because our team can be successful, and all you have to do to train a new coach to get started is to follow these little steps. That's how simple this business can be. So following the first 30 is awesome. All right? And you guys can play with that and toy around with it. The second step is walking through a new coach training. And I'm talking to folks who are brand new coaches, and I'm talking to folks who want to be a comeback kid. You can walk through this new coach training as a refresher. It might be redundant, but you might need that refresher. But you can see here the 10 days, each day. A lot of it has a video that I got from leaders that I'm inspired by, from content that I have used before in my trainings. A lot of it is, this is all self-led. You know what I mean? Like, you can walk your team through it. You can walk yourself through it. Each day has a what to do today call to action. That's really simple, like this. Go on social media of your choice, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, whatever, YouTube, I don't care. Share your journey. Like, share something about today, about your health journey. Share something inspiring or vulnerable or exciting that's going on, and we'll break down what that means when we talk about our social media training. And then another to do on the first day is going to the podcast app on your phone and download the Team Beachbody podcast, because that's an easy way for people to go ahead and get plugged into personal development. All they have to do is listen to the latest episode and write down their takeaways. Okay. And this is a great interview from Isabel Deichler about Shakeology. So that's just an example of day 1. You guys can go through and see there's 10 days here. They're all this simple. It really is this simple. So I'm pretty excited about how I hope this is easy to navigate. I hope that it serves you and your team. But again, you can see the 10 topics here. What to do next? That's kind of like a congratulations, you hit the 10 days. Now I want you to get organized. I want you to print out your business activity tracker, and I want you to walk through a power hour. And so it's funny that she is the same girl. I only used 2 videos from Micah Folsom, but that was them that I showed you. So she walks you through an hour power hour live, and you guys can literally just push play and walk through the business activity tracker on your own. But that's a great example of how you can get a new coach started, or you yourself have that comeback, is by following those steps. Okay. So the advanced training, there's 10 different lessons there, and it's not necessarily timely. It's just topical. So advanced inviting, what's a 500 PB coach, Emerald Tribes, Diamond Strong, Leadership Ladder, Things like how to check your downline, how to read your paycheck, volume and placement training, which is really pretty extensive. That's probably the most extensive one. And honestly, at the very end, I wanted us to focus on closing out the advanced training with personal development based on what's our big idea, like what's our why in all of this, because you can't be successful if your head is not in the game. Like, and that might be why you stumbled before and you're wanting to have a comeback, but you have to have the right mindset in order to be a successful entrepreneur, and every one of you have the capability to do that. But we have to get out of our own way and rock this year. And I know that you can do that. You were not, just like that video said, for you have the breath in your lungs today, you are here for a purpose, and you are not meant to be mediocre. You are not meant to be like the other 97% of the world who will cut corners and get lazy and be sloppy with their work, but you're going to be focused, even if it is in small increments. You're going to have fun with this, be true to yourself, keep your priorities, and you will build a business that can transform your life. I'm not trying to be fluffy. I'm being literally so as honest as I know how to communicate through words, how successful you could be, how this opportunity is at your fingertips to rock it. And I hope that these resources that we have through Moxie, through Dynasty United, through the Coach Online Office, you have all of it to access. So take advantage of it. Plug into the community. Don't drift. I'm proud of you guys. So in order to be a comeback, in order to really prove to me that you want to have a comeback, you got to take action. So I so appreciate everybody who signed up for the Comeback Club. Again, we're launching that on Thursday, the first day of the next week, business week for Beachbody. And you guys will all get an invitation specifically with a link to join that group. It's going to be 4 weeks long, and it's going to be going over a lot of this content. Again, it might be redundant, but I just want you to prove to me that you're willing to take the action to be successful, because I know you have it in you. So we are going to encourage you. We're going to have fun. We're going to make it into like a little bingo game. But we're going to go over basics, go over some live training in there with other leaders in Moxie. So there's a lot to look forward to, but again, it's all up to you. It really is. Like, it's all up to you, and I know you have it in you. You have it in you. Why I know that is because you joined this team. Why I know that is because you are a quality person. Like attracts like attraction marketing it's a real thing. So I feel like those of you listening to this call, you're like kind of my people, and my people, I respect you. I respect you so much so that I'm saying, go out there and kick butt. Like, go out there and don't hold yourself back. Believe in yourself and don't limit yourself for what you're capable of. It's so silly to me when somebody's like, I just don't have it in me, or I feel like a failure. I'm like, no, sweetie, you're not a failure. You got to get in the right mindset. You gotta, get out of your own way and believe in yourself and believe in why you're doing it. And that motivation will come as you take action. Does that make sense? All right. And I know this year's going to be great, but instead of thinking of it as a whole year, think of it as just this month. Just take one day today. What are 3 things you're going to do before you go to bed tonight? I have my list. I want you to make your list. Like, start today. It's kind of the first Monday of the month because last Monday was like the first, So to me, I'm kind of treating the 8th as like the first Monday of the month, like my first full week, getting not for me, full swing of things, because I'm like inching back into it. But for you, decide what season you're in, decide where your priorities are, and go for it on your priorities. That includes work priorities. Okay. I love you guys. Let me know if you have any questions in our Moxie page. I'm going to dip out because I know a lot of you want to watch a big special national championship game if you're a football fan. And if not, then you guys can check out the stuff that I'm about to post in Moxie, the link to this training site, etc. Okay. And one more glimpse of Scotty. Scotty, this is your team. She's excited. She's excited. Okay. Bye, guys. Love y'all.